a treat for me to be able to welcome you to Oklahoma City. One of my roles that I have as Lieutenant Governor is I chair Oklahoma's Tourism Commission. And so with that hat on, I want to tell you how delighted we are that you have chosen Oklahoma City as your host community for this event. We welcome the over 1,100 of you who have registered so far, and we hope that you enjoy your visit here. It is my great hope that you can, at least in the 5 to 7 days that you're here, have an opportunity to experience all the weather that Oklahoma has to offer. I think that's already in the forecast, so I'm kind of safe in saying that. But I hope that in between that you do have a chance to get out and see Oklahoma City. I want to be sure, and I always want the mayor to know that I've put that plug in for him and his community. If you have not been to Oklahoma City before, I hope you do take a chance to enjoy some of the sites that we have. I would tell you that in the state of Oklahoma, our #1 most visited tourism attraction, and it's kind of hard to call it a tourism attraction, is the bombing memorial from the Federal P. Murrah bombing. If you have an opportunity, I hope you see it twice. I hope you go and have an opportunity to see it in the daytime, to kind of get the feel for what was there and what occurred there. And of course, we're just 1 month after the 15th anniversary of that event. But if you have a chance or can only go see it one time, I hope you'll go in the evening. I hope you'll go after sunset when you have an opportunity to see the illumination of the chairs that are there, because I think you will leave with a different impression of that location than if you only see it once and it is in the daytime. So I put that plug in because I think it is impacting, and I hope that you will leave with that feeling that most folks do. Now, I will tell you, some people say, okay, well, she's Lieutenant Governor, she's welcoming us, and, you know, we do know that if you're here, you're spending money, and that does become one stimulus package for us, so thank you for that bailout. But I do think I'm here for another reason, and that is, on some small level, I really do get what you do. And I would encourage you from the different states to maybe take the same opportunity that the Oklahoma Association has. And I think just kind of out of the clear blue in 2007, not long after I had been elected and sworn in, I had an opportunity to visit with the Oklahoma Association. They invited me to come and give remarks. And they've invited me back every year, so I guess I didn't do too badly. But let me tell you that I know what happens when we who are policymakers, whether it's at the city, county, or state level, when we don't listen to what you tell us. I know what mistakes we can make, and I know what damage and harm can be caused. You see, my family, even though I grew up in Duncan, Oklahoma, we have another business in another community not far from here, about 40 miles from here in Chickasha, Oklahoma. And our business is downtown. It's across the street from the courthouse. And I know that whenever we have rains in northwestern Oklahoma, if it rains heavily, those rains are going to come this direction, and the Ouachita River tends to flood. And when the Ouachita River tends to flood, it tends to flood through the main area, the main business area of Chickasha, Oklahoma. And in 2008, I happened to be in my hometown. I usually go home on weekends, and my brother told me that it looked like it was flooding up in Chickasha, severe floods in Kingfisher. Many of you have had them this year. And so I said, well, I'm headed back to Oklahoma City. I'll stop and look. I got there. We had employees who were there, and I joined in with them, put on the old tennis shoes and the old jeans, and I got out and we were filling sandbags. And we were building our barricades in front of the door, as everyone on the south side of the street was doing, because there tended to be an incline, and we were on the down slope of that. And so we were trying to help protect our property, just like everyone else does. Just like everyone else tries to do when you tell us over and over again, you're in a floodplain. Here's what we recommend that you do. Here's what a city or state or county needs to invest in to be able to help protect the property of its citizens. You know, the water came up. The courthouse was okay, it sits higher. The streets were barricaded somewhat. in Oklahoma, our lieutenant governor has a security detail, so there was a member of my security detail was with me, and as trucks kept turning, and pickup trucks, you know, because we all drive pickup trucks in Oklahoma, as pickup trucks kept turning and going westbound on the street, I was getting so mad because the waves that they were creating were going over all of the sandbags that everybody had put up. And just on a, you know, I wanted to have an impact on those drivers, and my security guy went up and told one of them if he came again that he would have to follow my orders to shoot his tires out, and that he might want to reconsider driving down that street again. But I tell you that to let you know that it doesn't really matter whether you're in elective office or whether you're a business owner or whether you're just a citizen who lives in any of your communities. Saying that it's only going to be a 100-year flood and it's never going to happen isn't true, or they wouldn't talk about it. Because sometimes those 100-year floods come a lot closer together. And sometimes it has an impact that we don't recognize. The importance of your association, whether within your state or as a national group, and welcome to those of you from other countries who are here as well. The importance of your organization is because when you are together, it's not just the synergy that you create and the best practices that you learn and the policies that you talk about and the experiences that you share from since the last time you met, but it's also the forward looking, the vision, the thinking ahead that for me in my position is absolutely critical. So while you talk about how you handled things in the past, I want to thank you for thinking about how to prevent them in the future, because it's not just about the property, it is also about soil erosion. It is also about the water itself and how we maintain its quality and access to it. And it is everything that is important to the lifeblood of a community, for its residents, for its businesses, for a state's economic development. We cannot continue to let our people build in areas that we know are going to flood. We just don't know when, because we know they're not going to be adequately compensated when that damage does occur, and we must be better prepared. And you are the experts, and you are the ones who need to be telling us how we need to better plan for those circumstances. So thank you for what you do for your continuing development, for the opportunities that you give each other to figure out how to plan solutions for problems that haven't yet started, because that's really what you do. You think ahead, you're creative, and you plan for events that have not yet happened. So we're glad you're in Oklahoma. We hope you have a wonderful time. We hope that it's not too turbulent, but you know, you're in a great facility, so you'll be just fine. And we hope that while you're here and when you leave, that you will leave with a good impression and take good feelings about the state of Oklahoma and the city of Oklahoma City home with you. I personally want to thank the folks from Oklahoma, from the Oklahoma Association and the committee who's worked so hard to put this together and to serve as your host, because I know that they are some of the best examples of Oklahoma's hospitality that you will have. Congratulations on being here, and I hope you have a wonderful conference.